A one and a two and a chick-a-boom a chick.
What's working for a lot of my remodelers right now? They're implementing JobTread. It's helping them tighten up estimating, improve communication with clients, and most importantly, increase profits. I've seen firsthand how JobTread users are hitting better gross profit margins and making faster decisions because they've got the numbers at their fingertips. If you're still trying to manage projects with spreadsheets or a patchwork of tools, it might be time to level up. Head over to JobTread.com and check it out for yourself. I have dozens and dozens of my remodeling clients using JobTread. They love it. Go to www.jobtread.com. Everybody, welcome to the Remodelers on the Rise show. I have my client and also friend, Mary Denby with MHD Builds. Mary, let's kick off right there. What does the H stand for? I'm guessing the M is Mary. I'm guessing the D is Denby.
Yep. And the Hall is my, H, Hall is my maiden name.
Ah, there we go. So
Yeah.
MHD Builds. Go ahead.
I didn't do a great job of thinking that through though, because like I do want a succession plan and I would like to retire. So I'm like, something to think about in the future.
I mean, it could be worse. Some people just use their flat out full name. Some people use their last name. Like this is at least a little bit coded and not 100% you.
Yeah, I can work with it. I turned 50 this year, so I'm hoping, and like over the next decade that I can, bring in the next generation. I don't know if either of my children would be interested, but maybe some of our team members. Who knows?
Never know. Never know. The future is bright. So how's 50? Have you ever seen that SNL skit where she comes out and she's like,
I'm 50.
Yes.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
If you're watching the video version, she did the whole skit right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited.
How is 50? What does it feel like?
Well, I'm not there yet. I've got I've got 5 weeks till I'm 50. But we've been celebrating all year. We did
the year of Mary?
50 days of travel for 50, and we have surpassed the 50 days.
Whoa. So you started the year and you went, we're going to travel for 50 days. Just like this one was 2 days, this one was 6 days, this one was 4 days. Wow. And it's only September 30th and you've already accomplished your goal?
We have, yeah.
What was the most exciting one that you trip that you took?
Over the summer we did south of France and Italy. Took the kids to Cinque Terre in Venice. That was really awesome. And my business, just a little plug, a little something for the listeners. I had gotten into credit cards heavily last year. A friend of mine who runs a business had kind of taught me her ways, and I've really upped my game this year. And so we flew there, stayed there, flew back. Meals weren't covered, but all of that was covered with points. From my credit cards.
Oh my. So
pretty
a few
amazing.
Things here. Folks, before I started, I said, have you ever done a podcast interview before? And she's like, no. And I said, well, I've done a bunch of them. She's like, I know, I've listened to your podcast. So then I blushed and I was like, oh, thank you. And we talked about some podcasts because she listens to a lot of podcasts. And then she's already a pro. She's like, a little something for your listeners. I mean, you're already like
that's how you do it. I listen all the time. So
I understand, but this is your rookie trip. Like this is your maiden voyage, and you're already like, bam, right in there. Now, I will say this: we can play around with credit card points so long as you do not pay 1 penny of interest.
Correct.
All of our listeners listening to that.
Yes.
And outside of that, there is some potential to evidently take some worldwide travel with points. So we might circle back to that. We might not. We'll see where it goes.
Which can add up to 50 days.
Oh my, 50 days. What an exciting idea right there. People, we need to have a little bit more fun. We need to give us things to be excited about, give us things to look forward to. It doesn't need to be trips overseas. Like it could be small things. Go into your calendar and stinking take a Friday off in 4 weeks, in 6 weeks, in 8 weeks, whatever it is. Do something that you just flat out enjoy find things that can bring you joy, plan things. Even just the idea of we're going to do 50, and I'm guessing not all of it was going to France. Some of it may have been an overnighter here. Some of it may have been camping.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But that's an inspiring thing. We've already given people inspiration and takeaways, Mary, and we are not even out of the intro yet.
Yay.
Mary's business is in the Delray neighborhood of Alexandria, Virginia, so says her website. Mary's also part of our Ignite peer group that's led by the wonderful Peter Rainey. Oh, was that a cheer that you guys have?
That was an Ignite.
Ignite. Yes. Exciting. I saw her a few weeks ago when they were up in Holland, Michigan. What about that office there of Josh Nelson's?
Very impressive. Yes. We are planning in the coming year of getting our own office space, purchasing an office space. So it was very inspiring to see Nelson Builders.
Yes, it's a beautiful
office space.
Yeah. It's a beautiful office space. So you're part of that, and this is kind of how we'll segue in. I want you to tell the people a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to get into implementation, or get into things that you've been working on, that you've been doing over the last few years that have helped you just strengthen your remodeling business, strengthen feeling in control of your business and putting it in a good direction. But tell us a little more about yourself and maybe just how you got into the remodeling world.
Okay. I got my degree in architecture, and I practiced as an architect for 10 years. And then right about that time, I had already had my first kid and was really struggling.
Shout out to who? What's her name?
Aloysius is my son.
Shout out to Aloysius.
The one that made me a mother. Yes. So I graduated from Virginia Tech, and he's now a Hokie.
Side note, as long as it doesn't throw you off.
Yeah.
Evidently, my Uncle Frank will have to confirm this, but everybody's always called him Francis Aloysius is his name. His last name's Grisbeck. It's a full name.
Okay.
And I think I remember my Aunt Mee, yes, I call her Aunt Mee, saying that Uncle Frank's birth certificate just says Al on it.
Oh.
And they've always called him Aloysius.
Aloysius. Okay.
So what a cool name. What is your son's, does your son go by the full name?
He goes by Wish. We call him Wish.
What?
Yeah, and we named him when my husband and I first met, which was kind of just a funny thing. Like, we're not going to get married and we won't have a kid. And then we did, and he's Aloysius.
Yeah. Cassie's producing this, and she's just in the background, and she's like, Mary's like the funnest guest we've had, all kinds of interesting things. And we're only 7 minutes in, 50 days of fun. I'm 50 doing the whole dance. We ignited things. We got cool names. That's interesting. So he's a Hokie. You had your first kid. You did the 10 years of architecture.
And then I had my daughter, Alora, and it just wasn't working. We live in DC Metro here in Alexandria, and the pace was intense. I called it lawyer hours with teacher pay, being an architect. And my husband and I sat down and we talked about it, and can't afford to not work, have two incomes here in this area. And so he was like, where's your passion? Like, your passion is in building. Like, you love residential construction. So I left architecture, and then I worked for another very similar high-end general contractor for about 10 years before I started my business.
Doing design work, doing architecture work?
No, it was interesting. I can't even remember what my role there was, but I was brought in, what year was that? That was the year my daughter was born, 2002. Yeah, I started there in 2002. And at that point, it wasn't a project manager. It would develop the projects to get them to the site superintendent. I can't remember what the roles were called back then. But I started there, and then 2002, and then the economy hit the tank, and then they got rid of the site guy, and they got rid of this person and that person. So basically, we were called project managers, but we did everything. It was I think there were 4 of us, and each person kind of ran almost their own company, and you had your P&L that you followed, you had the company overhead, but you were kind of running it all.
Interesting. So it gave you a real deep look at things.
Yeah, yeah. But I still wasn't running it, so I didn't know like the financials. Like I knew my P&L, but I didn't understand the company. But it was interesting, yeah, doing that. And then I left there, and then so this month, October, makes our 11th year in business for my company, MHD Builds. So,
Cool.
yeah.
A couple things I want to bring up. One is celebrate how long you've been in business, people. I mean, 11 is kind of a weird number to celebrate. Hopefully we did it for 10, but it's hard to be in business. It's hard to build a business. It's hard to be in 11 years is a big deal.
Yeah. We celebrated the 10th, and we had a cute logo, like a little circle.
Yeah.
It was like 10 years of exquisite design, and we put it out in the neighborhood, and we like when
Good.
we would have events,
So,
put it up on our board so people know,
yep,
like we've been around. We're not,
absolutely.
we're not just showing up yesterday.
That's an encouraging thing for everybody else to do, because I bet you there's some people listening that are coming up to 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 or more. The other thing that I heard there was, at that inflection point of like, what are we going to do? And your husband asked the question of, where's your passion? And as you guys discussed it, you were like, well, it's not that, it's not this. Oh, maybe it is that. And maybe he saw it for you. Maybe you saw it together. But what a good thing to remind ourselves of is, what are you passionate about? There may be some things that you're doing in your business that you're not passionate about. And if you could spend some more time doing what you love doing, you'd probably, going back to even the joy theme that we threw out there, you'd probably enjoy your work more. And wouldn't you know it, the thing that you might dread and not enjoy could be somebody else's passionate thing. So keep that in mind as a business owner, as a business leader, to evaluate that. Where's your passion and how can you put more towards that? And then similarly, kind of having a vision for where you're trying to take your business and why. Just consider that and think about that. So maybe think of those as you were going. So then you come around and all of a sudden you start business, and now you're at year 11. And I'm guessing it's just been a smooth sailing, just straight up.
So easy. One of my very first carpenter, who was with me for the first 10 years, he moved out of the area last year, but he always called it, he's like, easy money. Anytime something was tricky on the job site, he'd be like, easy money.
Easy money. In other words, going, oh, this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been a little painful to lose him after 10 years.
It was. I started the business, so it was me. So yeah, when I started the business, because like I was working for this GC, like I started doing a small portion of the work, and then ended up kind of like running the whole thing. And then I also had brought the design background, so I was kind of like, you guys are coming to me and you don't have a design, like let's create one, like I can help you with that. So anyways, so when I started the business, I was wearing all the hats. So it was me and 2 carpenters. I had worked with them at the previous company, and they had left, and then the economy had tanked. And then they were like, do you have work? And I was like, I'm starting this business. So I brought the 2 guys on. So it was the 3 of us for a while. And just kind of like wearing every single hat, which included design then. So it was like sales, estimating, architectural design, selections design, coordination with, the structural engineers, the, permitting, project management,
marketing, financials.
Yeah. All the things. So I think it's been, it wasn't until our 5th year in when I hired my first employee, and we've really grown, and we're now up to, we'll talk about this in a minute, but currently we have plus 9, there's 13 of us. Okay. It's a little flux. So
very cool. Oh, I wonder what we're going to talk about in a minute.
It's very exciting.
Oh, are you going to, do I have to guess and I have to come up with, we'll see. I wrote it down. We're not going to forget about it. So if we were to highlight, as you've been going, especially over the last, I would say 3-4 years, when you've really started to go, okay, I'm going to really take put some good investment into the business side of things,
Yeah.
into really turning this thing up as far as understanding financials, as far as understanding job costing, leadership, process improvements, all of those things. If we were to just grab for the benefit of our listeners, 3 or 4 or 5 of those main things when you look back and go, okay, when I started taking this serious, that really helped. Where could we start there of something that has been very beneficial for you to implement and work on?
Well, I started working with you.
Oh,
That's
what a wonderful place to start.
yay. Yeah. But yeah, because I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't really know how to do this, because we were just kind of like a little haphazard. We didn't have processes for years. I was doing things and it was all in my head. And we started to hire employees and I'm like, we can't continue like this. How do I fix this? And my initial thought was like, I'm not inventing the wheel here. Like this is plenty of people do this. I mean, plenty of people do it poorly. But how do we do it well? And I know that there's people that are doing this well. And that's when I really started combing social media. That's how I found you, Kyle.
Okay.
Many years ago. And there were definitely some like coaching groups that were like not my cup of tea, and I'm like, not feeling their vibe. But I was like, I know there's somebody great out there. There's somebody great. So I kept looking, kept searching, and that's when I started seeing your videos and
Wait,
seeing
what's
your
my vibe?
Like intelligent, caring. Yeah, I think you're a very caring, compassionate kind of guy. Like you care about your people. Yeah.
I do care about that. Frankly, the more we care about our ideal client and truly serving them, the more enjoyable work is and the better we do it.
Yeah. And that's
okay,
what
cool.
like one of our core values is like, just really caring for our clients. And, it's not just a job. We're not just here to make money. Like, and for our employees too, that's another one of our employees. Like we care, we care about them and they are part of our company. And I think I mentioned at our meeting last week, like I brought them on as employees and it's, there were some risk that were mitigated by bringing them on as employees, but also just because like I care about them and I want them to have benefits and to have paid time off and they're part of our family. So
cool. So you got some outside help, you got some outside coaching, you got some, all right, let's not reinvent the wheel here. Yep. What were some aspects of that jumps out at you as far as biggest impact?
Creating processes for the team. And that was one thing when I first started, viewing your content and I came to that first workshop, I'm like, oh, we need to grow the business. We need to grow the business. And then I'm like, oh, I think we need to put the brakes on this and really, really create the processes before we grow the business. Because if we grow this chaotic thing, then we're going to have a chaotic thing. So let's pause this for a minute.
Kind of almost slow down to speed up.
Yeah.
What were a couple of the processes that have been important?
So that led us to bringing on a selections person. So we had an architect that was on our team. So Stephanie's our amazing architect. And then, kind of setting up this whole expectation of like when I sit down with a client and I'm going to go through like, here's what your process is going to look like. And you can like know what it's going to be like. Our team knows what the steps are and we can kind of lead you through it instead of kind of like moving through it kind of willy-nilly.
Yeah. So going from, we kind of have a sales process and a process to take a brand new prospect to a signed contract. And you really focus on going, let's get real clear with that. Let's know what the steps are, both externally so the prospect and the client can understand it, but also internally so that we're checking off each of the steps along the way of who's doing what, how we do it.
And that's our latest thing because we still don't have it down. Like we first did that with the construction end, and I feel like the construction's rolling really great. Our project manager, Jessica, that you've met, like she's great, like that process, it rolls and it's very smooth and our clients know what to expect and they're thrilled with the process because we put that time and effort into it. So we're trying to roll out and kind of tweak and finalize the design process now.
It's one of the secrets. It's never really over. There's always kind of some tweaking. You've taken major steps in getting that much more clear. But it sounds like you're putting your sights a little bit even tighter on that now.
Yeah. Are you ready for my exciting?
Yes. Is this what we're going to talk about in a minute?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Oh, good. Yes,
or should
please.
I wait?
Wait, are you running this podcast or am I? I don't know what's going on. Go ahead.
I've got the headphones on. I feel like I'm kind of like
official.
a boss here. And
they're not even your headphones. They're not even your headphones.
They're borrowed.
Stop acting like you're a professional head. You don't even own.
I don't even own headsets. They're my husband's.
What's his is yours, and what's yours is his. That's the way this rolls.
True. Yeah, we're a true partnership. So. All right. Even though he has nothing to do with the business, because people constantly approach me and are like, you and your husband, your construction business. And he's like, I know nothing about construction. Like, no. So last week, I don't remember how much of this you were in, Kyle, but last week at our Ignite meeting in the beautiful Holland, Michigan, I was talking to my peers, and it's been such an amazing group. I'm going to give a big plug to the peer group. These people have really, really been my rock and support this past year and have just given me the best feedback.
Hey there, remodelers. Quick break from the lovely show today to tell you about a tool I'm seeing more and more of my clients use and love, and that is JobTread. JobTread is an all-in-one construction management software that helps you simplify your sales process, stay on time and on budget with projects, and know your numbers from start to finish. If you're still juggling spreadsheets, emails, and whiteboards, this is the kind of system that brings everything together in one place. Estimates, scheduling, job costing, invoicing, even a client portal that helps you create happier customers. Plus, the reporting tools make it easy to track your profitability in real time. And if you're just getting started, they've got boot camps, a fantastic support team, and an annual user conference that brings remodelers together from all over the country. Go check out JobTread.com, and see how it can help you streamline, manage, and grow your remodeling business.
So
keep talking so you tear up. No, keep talking so we tear up a little bit.
I know. I am.
I get more leads to fill out the rest of the peer groups if you start crying a little bit.
Okay.
No, it's good. That was wonderful.
I might. Anyways, so we're talking, and I'm telling the peer group about how our selections coordinator is leaving. So I need to hire a new selections coordinator. But I really wanted to hire an estimator. I really wanted that to be my new hire. However, my selections person's leaving. And so I come into the meeting in Michigan, and I'm really down, and I'm feeling very stressed out. And I share with my peers my conundrum. And two different people in the group, we're a small group. What is there, like
8 or 9 companies?
Yeah. So it's not like massive groups of people. Anyways, two different folks in the group were like, do you like doing selections coordination? Because I'm doing estimating currently, and I'm not good at estimating. I don't enjoy it. I'm okay at it.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you like doing selections? And I'm like, yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. You know, I don't want to do it all the time, but I'm good with it. I like it. And they're like, then hire an estimator. You do the selections coordination until you're ready to hire. So I sent out an offer last night for my first estimator. I am so excited. So Anthony, big shout out to Anthony. We're sitting there at the table in Holland, and he pulls out his calculator. And
Anthony Boyd in Idaho, folks.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boyd.
Yes, shout out to him. He pulls out his calculator. He's looking at my financials, and he's like, if this person saves you 3% on your slippage, because that's where we're struggling, is on the slippage because of my estimating. He's like, if they save you 3%, here's what they cover. If they reduce 6% of your slippage, they've covered their salary. And I'm like, wow. That's huge. Like I've known for a while that I'm a problem, and that's why I really wanted to get an estimator. And I don't, because I'm wearing too many hats,
Yeah.
and I'm still doing the estimating. And I need somebody who is dedicated. It is their job, it is their passion, it's their complete focus to be on these numbers.
Ooh, it's a new chapter over there.
It is. I am so excited, so pumped up.
So you're giving plenty of shout outs to the peer group, which is rightly so and amazing. And sometimes one, you went into there just like, oh, I'm just down. Like I've just been getting beat up, like knocked around here, knocked around there. And just the reinvigoration is huge. And then just people getting to know you and your business, understanding your financials and your team, and being able to offer some outside guidance is huge. But the biggest thing, the biggest superstar in this is the person who hears a good idea and implements it. So when I just drove over for day 2. That all happened on day 1. You already had the posting up and rocking and rolling. You already had some people applying. So for everybody listening to this also, we've got to try things out. We've got to implement things. We've got to stop the talking and more ideas and more ideas. And sometimes we just got to do the work. We got to click the submit button. We got to click the post button. So way to do that.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's only been a week and a half, but I've got an offer letter out. I sent it out yesterday. Yeah.
You haven't. So, I mean, even
I keep
if
checking my email.
Okay.
Did they reply?
We could have a moment even during this recording. Who knows, folks?
Who knows?
Congratulations on that. And that also plays back into, like you just played into it too, of like, what are you passionate about and what are you skilled at? And, there's only so many hats that you, especially as you're growing your business, that you can wear effectively. More focus on fewer things, And then the other big thing there is making sure that we can confidently make these decisions because it's based in our financials, in our understanding of our overhead expenses, and our understanding of our projected revenue, our gross profit margins. So that's what also allows us to make these decisions with, a clear breath and clear head about it. Cool. Very, very good. Well, that is exciting. Keep us posted. Everybody's going to be waiting to hear what is the outcome of this. So that processes, sales process, design and selections process. Talk to me about a little bit on the financial side, a little bit of kind of how you were looking at financials, how you understood them, and kind of where you are today in them and some of the improvements you made there.
Yeah, it wasn't very crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
On our financials. So that's one of the things that you really push us to know and understand our financials. So I feel I've really learned and grown so much because you can't really run a business unless you unless you definitely know your financials. And I thought I understood it, but every time we get together and we chat, like the peer group we do monthly, and I feel like something else becomes a little more clear. I understand. I definitely had some great takeaways from last week. So
that's awesome. And even thinking back a few years when you were in the VIP club for a while, and we chatted, did some one-on-one chats from time to time. I remember looking at it going, okay, your pricing, your margin is up here, but these projects are coming in down here. And it could, part of that is estimating, part of that is production in the field, part of that is, we quoted, 30 hours for the demo phase. It took us 40. Some of it could be, we didn't get a fixed price from the plumber. We're kind of assuming what that's going to come in at. So I think you've definitely taken strides to solidify a lot of that, to make sure that you're holding on to the gross profit, and it's not, there may still be some slippage. It's been, helped quite a bit there. And just really understanding markup versus margin, understanding that, okay, I need to get my gross profit margin up to comfortably afford overhead expenses and to kick out a net profit. And I think what all of that also led to for you is the leadership side of getting your team to buy into it, of getting your team to continue to kind of move forward with you. What have you learned about leadership over the last number of years, and what have you kind of tried there?
I'm still working on that. That's a work in progress. I was going to say, Sorry, my head was going somewhere else, Kyle.
It's okay. Where was it
When you're,
going?
well, I was thinking about the,
You
I
wanted
don't
to
know.
talk more about numbers, didn't you?
Yeah, I was thinking about the numbers.
Ooh,
Yeah, and
that's
how
fine.
that's,
Hey, I can sit and marinate in numbers all day long. But also, I've
mhm.
noticed this as a 42-year-old that, like I start thinking about something and then I go to another direction. But you're almost 50. So like one
Yeah.
who's the character that did that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember her
She
either.
was
I can
amazing,
visualize her.
though.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
So we can't be doing 18 things at a time here. So yeah, hit me with a little financials and then we'll move into leadership. What else were you gonna say on number side?
Well, yeah, I was sorry. Yeah, my head was just still there,
It's
still
all right.
thinking about how, like, and this is another reason why this is a great idea for me to have an estimator. I still know in my head what a bathroom cost 20 years ago.
Mm.
Bathroom doesn't cost what a bathroom cost 20 years ago when I first started estimating. Prices have changed dramatically. Just in this past year, prices have changed dramatically. So, like, I have in my head, like, this is what it should cost. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, always like, oh my God, it's too much. How do I push this back down? But the problem with that is that I'm not providing my clients with the product and the level of service that they need. I mean, our product is still great, but like we're eking it out, and then like we're not providing them with the service. And like here in Alexandria, it's an expensive cost of living
Sure.
area. It's one of the highest in the country. So our clients are very busy professionals, pretty affluent, and like they expect a very high level of service. And so if I'm not pricing that, and I'm not able to provide that, and so we're not able to be our best and bring that to our clients.
A couple things that come out there. One being we have to be careful if we do have a process where we give a little bit of a ballpark range based on the project they're discussing and maybe even seeing the project. We have to be very careful when we throw those numbers out, especially if we're living in the past as far as numbers go, or we just want to. It's almost like the bottom number you're giving should be your top number and you're going up from there, but we want to make them say, yeah, that sounds great. We have to be very careful when giving that range is one aspect of it. And then on the estimator side, as a business owner also doing the estimating, you've got the things you just mentioned going through your head, but also, all right, we need to sign some work. Okay, we've got a good backlog, but I'm trying to fill up 2026 backlog. These people were really nice, but I think they might push back on this. We get all kinds of emotional, we get all kinds of head trash going on, we get all kinds of things going. An estimator that's just a purebred estimator, tell me what this thing is truly going to cost.
Right.
And there's great value in having that as kind of an independent silo in your business. It's going to help you strengthen your overall financials, job costing, and the price. You look at that price and go, yes, that's higher than maybe what they wanted to hear, but it's accurate, is also very important. Okay. Anything else financial?
Yes. So it's interesting. Like yesterday, I would have never done this, but I hired a bookkeeper after I started working with you.
That's true.
Yeah, we'd had a bookkeeper, but they are just like mediocre. But we've got like a rock star team now doing our books. We do have a company that we hired, and I had tried to get like a part-time person because I don't think it's quite full-time yet. But I tried to hire a couple different people, and it just wasn't working. Like they weren't doing all the things. So then I was like, I'll hire a company. Very small company. It's Carry On Bookkeeping for anybody who's curious. But
Carry On.
Carry On.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so they work with contractors, and so it's a team. So I've got usually there's like 3-4 different people on the team that does our books. And anyways, so they had sent me this financial report that I'd requested. And so, I spent the afternoon yesterday kind of working on our financials through the rest of the year to check on our cash flow and see how we're doing. Cause like, my stomach's a little tight, like, oh, like things, we've got some stuff going on. And so I'm like, oh, is this going to be a problem with our cash flow? So instead of sitting there with my stomach in knots, I'm like, let's look at our numbers. How does it look?
Let's lean into it instead of burying our head in the sand about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's definitely where, when I started the business, I was more in that camp. Like, let's just bury my head and just keep going forward.
Yeah.
And that's you can't sustain a business like that. So
good. So on the business time, dig into your numbers there. And even if the numbers end up not being as strong as you're hoping they were going to say for the tail end of the year, it's still good to know the facts. It's going to allow you to either push a project into production or rally troops, or you look at it and go, well, that was all worked up about nothing. Like we're just fine and dandy here.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it definitely gave me a little peace. I felt a little better, but then also there were a couple of tweaks that I need to make. And I'm like, we need to start this job a little sooner. We need to push this one. And so I made those adjustments. I put them there at my desk. And so we can make those adjustments as we're moving through the rest of the finish of the year. And then I'm not going to get into like a crisis mode like I would have done several years ago.
Yeah. And compared to when we first connected a number of years ago, compared to what you just said there, that's something I can say this. I could say, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Mary. I think it was bury head in the sand. I think it was, I don't understand it that clearly, so I'm just not going to worry about it. Yeah. Instead of just taking it head on. And the more you take it head on, the more you understand it. All of a sudden, then you're spending a Monday afternoon projecting and working on the business and seeing where your financials are.
Yeah.
Way to go. Okay. Cool. So tell me about, if you would, tell me maybe a couple nuggets of things that you've done, tried, the way you're thinking about leadership. And then I wonder if we have a couple other miscellaneous nuggets of knowledge that we might want to share with the listeners.
Oh, like I said, leadership is a tough one for me. I'm still trying to learn how to lead my team and just kind of let them be the experts that they are and kind of like give them some feedback and guidance. But I don't know. I'm still, because I want to be like, this is how you do it. Because I've done all the things that everybody in my company is doing. Well, I haven't swung a hammer, but I've done all the other things, but I haven't done them, like I wasn't always great at all of them, but I did them okay. But like letting my team kind of, and that's something during this whole design process is the team has sat down and kind of like they've really developed the process of how it should be. And then like there's some tweaks that we kind of jump in and make, but letting them.
But they have, so that's a leadership aspect of going, all right, let's get some buy-in from everybody, not just me from the top saying this is how it's going to be done.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. Do you need to be tougher as a leader, or do you feel like you're nice and kind as a leader? What's your thought on that?
I'm honey badger.
Oh, right. You are the honey. Because there's the balance between honey and vinegar. Vinegar is feisty. And then in her peer group, she's now known as the honey badger, which is good. That means we got tenacity.
Yeah, I can be tough, with my project manager. She really vibes. She works really well with our clients. And she, once we go into construction, she's their point person. So Jessica does a great job. So I'm bad cop. So I'm badger. When I need to be, like when I need to come in and be a little tough, honey badger.
I like it.
But not just mean, but like
also, just
badger.
so when you turn 50, you're not allowed anymore to kind of say cool words like vibing. Like that's a 40s kind of thing.
No, vibe is like old thing. Our kids definitely aren't saying vibe. They're probably saying words that we don't understand.
Yes. I just think that when you get in your 50s, there's probably a whole nother layer of words that you're not aware of yet, that you'll get it from the AARP in the mail or something. They'll tell you, okay, you may now start using these words.
Yeah.
Did you know that I'm a member of the AARP?
I did not know that.
I went into the AT&T store last year and they said, are you a member of the AARP? And I'm like, I don't think I was wearing a hat. And I'm like, I know I'm bald, but like, I don't think I look like I'm 65. And I'm like, really? He's like, no. You can be any age and be a member of the AARP.
I did not know that.
And it costs like $20 a year. And he's like, if you're an AARP member, we can give you $20 off your phone, your cell phone bill each month. So I'm saving hundreds of dollars by joining the AARP in my 40s.
Okay.
Public service announcement. You'll also get 18,000 emails that you need to unsubscribe, and they'll start mailing you things a lot.
Mm-hmm. Let me share a little wisdom that I've learned now that I'm 50.
You're not 50 yet.
Almost 50.
Okay.
A few short weeks. Is that I can't multitask. And people that tell me they can multitask, I don't believe them. I think that you can do lots of things at once, but you're not going to do them all well. That like something's got to give. And the reason why I was thinking about this is because I was multitasking. You were chatting, and here on the side, I was on my phone looking it up. It's Sally O'Malley. I'm 50. Yeah.
I know, as a professional Zoom user and podcaster, I could
Molly
see.
Shannon.
I'm like, yes, it is. I was like, I could see her looking over there. I wonder if maybe she got an email acceptance from. Then we're going to close out with that.
No,
Hey, we got it accepted.
I had to look it up because you asked me who it
yes.
was. Yeah.
And it would have bothered you, Sally
Molly
Shannon. But I would agree that multitasking thing, and I would even be I like to write content that's really edgy. So I would also say there is no such thing as multitasking. Technically, you can really our human brains can only do one thing at a time. We think we're multitasking, but all we're doing is just jumping. On that similar note, I had an open hour and a half before our interview. And other than going and getting a little lunch, it was a fairly pitiful first hour. I was clicking around. I was, did a little social media, and I went on Facebook, and I did write a piece of content for Remodelers community. And then I putzied with a couple of emails. And I wasn't focused. It was just like I was kind of multitasking all over the place. And then I grabbed a little lunch, and then the 10 minutes before our meeting, I got like an hour and 20 minutes worth of work done of like boom, 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 eat the frog, send this email, send that text.
Yeah.
So no, we can't multitask. And also, just as a reminder to everybody, including us listening, get really clear with what you're working on next, one thing at a time. Yeah. And just write it down. This is the thing I'm working on. It might take you 5 minutes, might take you 30 minutes. And if we can really focus in and do one thing at a time, we will be more productive and more efficient, and frankly, lead our businesses better. So we got to fight for that focus. Amen, Brother Kyle. Wonderful. This was a fun interview. We touched on all kinds of different things. If I were to close out on my end, and you were to also close out on your end and say, hey, if you heard nothing else out of my little story here and the journey we've been on, here's what I would emphasize that I think has been really beneficial, and it can't include me in that. I want you to think something you've done, and then I also am going to emphasize something that I heard that I want the listeners to hear. And then if they wanted to look you up online, so let's start with that. If they wanted to look you up, where do they go?
So we're at mhdbuilds.com, but we're also, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook.
MHD Builds.
We don't do TikTok. I'm not that cool. I can't use those.
Maybe when you turn 50. Maybe when you're 50. And then what would you say if you heard nothing else in this interview, or it could even be something you didn't mention that you wanted to? What comes to mind?
Oh, that's a tough one, because I'm like, I could spend 30 minutes, Kyle, rattling off things.
I hear you, but you got things to do. I got things to do. The people listening got things to do.
I think that, let's go back to the first thing about the 50 days of travel. Like, spending some time with your family. That's something that we've set up with our clients. Like, we have a design kickoff, and then we have a construction kickoff meeting, and we share with them during that meeting that, like, we have families, and I share it. It comes out of my mouth, and so that way it's not my architect or my selections person or my project manager telling my clients. I tell them as the owner of the company, like, this is important to me that my employees have time with their families. Like your project is a priority to them during the work day. So we ask them to respect that, and they can send all the emails that they want, but don't pick up the phone. Don't start texting us. Don't fire off rapid messages. At 8:00
Setting
at
some good
night.
boundaries.
Exactly. Setting those boundaries. And I think that's been really important. And that's something that we learned very quickly with our construction processes setting up. If you set those boundaries up front, people will 99% of people are going to respect those and follow those. But you have to
Good.
set them. So
And what you're talking about also sounds even more holistic, of just like, yes, it's that. Yes, it's not noisiness, but it's also, this is what I care about as far as even the culture of our company. I don't want my team members feeling the pressure of responding to something at 9:00 at night. So to also kind of be that advocate of leading that. Very good. I like that. There's a lot of takeaways in this.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway that I would share as we wrap up is make sure you're having fun. Make sure you're having fun in your business. We talked about that a decent amount. And then I feel like you're pretty tenacious with finding the next thing to improve. Business is hard. Business is not going to be perfect. And as long as we're continuing to find the next right thing to work on, and as long as we implement and take action, generally speaking, taking action, implementing, figure out the next right thing is usually going to lead to a net positive, a net positive, a net positive.
Absolutely.
And you can continue to add up those positive
Keep
days
building.
and good things happen.
Yeah, because it feels overwhelming. You get started and you're like, oh, it's too much. I can't do all these things. But yeah, do one thing, do the next, because you can't do them all together.
It's true. It's true.
But do one,
cool.
Do the next.
And for the video people, you showed Cassie and I before we started. There was a art piece that was hanging from the ceiling. Can you show the people watching video that by chance?
I've got two things I showed. Well, I'll show you this one. This is the easiest to show you.
The hanging one was the coolest. Well, I know those are cool too. Those are oil paintings.
Painting. Yeah, that one might be harder here.
I know, but it's so cool.
My daughter is a very talented artist at Pratt Institute studying art. This is one of her sculptures. Yeah.
Hanging. It's super cool. Mary, you're super cool. Thank you so much for the interview. Thank you for sharing your story, for your encouragement. And hopefully, if you're listening to this, grab a takeaway and implement it. That's why you're listening to this, people. Maybe a little bit of entertainment. Okay, so be it. But you're not listening to this so that you can just go about your life the exact same way as before. You're doing it so that you can learn something and you can implement it. Keep doing that. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle.